Hey, cheese bags. Welcome to Gouda.Murder podcast. I'm Gouda, and she's Keely, and she's Kelly.
There we go.
Can you say hi? Say hi. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
So this week we kind of just picked somewhat local stories.
Yes.
So, it's funny. The story that Keely actually suggested I cover, I didn't know any details about, but I had heard of because I met my husband in 2016, but had not moved to the Quad Cities area until like a year later. But I can't remember if I had already moved here or if we were just hanging out one weekend. We drove through the restaurant that is involved in this story. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're sitting in line." He's like, "Oh yeah, back there in the parking lot, a girl was killed like 10 years ago." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, and then they ditched her body over in Rock Island." I'm like, but like that was the extent of it. That was the extent of it. I was just kind of like flabbergasted, like, "Holy shit, that happened!" And then I dropped it. I didn't look up anything.
Yeah, you're like,
And so then that's the story that I'm going to tell you guys about today.
Oh,
I can't wait.
My story is about Adrienne Lee Reynolds, who was born on September 12th in 1988 in El Dorado, Arkansas, to a single mother who was only 16 when she gave birth. Knowing that she was unprepared for motherhood, Adrienne's mom gave her custody to her own mother and stepfather. So Adrienne lived with her grandmother and her step-grandfather. Excuse me. As Adrienne grew, she had a troublesome childhood. She was kind of a wild child. She didn't like school at all, and she often got into mischief, trouble. Like, she was never a super bad kid, but she
Was full of tomfoolery.
she just misbehaved,
Oh, okay.
I did well, I guess maybe she did get into some trouble. I guess it was mentioned in one, I was watching a few videos about it. One other podcast couple was talking about how she had some assault charges on her record, but I didn't read, those weren't brought up in any of the cases when, like, as far as her murder goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I can't really talk on that part, but anyway, around age 12, Adrienne's mother decided at this point, "Oh, I'm ready to be a good mom now." She had already had another child and wanted Adrienne to move back in. So she did. She moved in with her mom, but that arrangement did not last long. So, not wanting Adrienne to enter foster care, Tony Reynolds, the man who raised her when she was a baby, her step-grandpa, offered to take her in. But by this time, Tony and his wife Joanne were living back in Illinois. Tony was from Illinois, so they moved back to his home state.
Okay.
So Adrienne moved up to Illinois, Quad Cities, East Moline area. And she had trouble adjusting. She quickly chose to return to her mother in Texas. So she went back, and it didn't last long at all. She had a failed attempt of making their relationship work, and she made a final return to Tony and Joanne in late 2004. By this time, she was 16 years old. Adrienne, like I said, she didn't like school. She didn't do well in school. So her step-parents were like, "We just need you to get your GED and be done." So they enrolled her in the Black Hawk College Outreach Center in East Moline, which is just an extension of the college.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of adult, like, continuing education classes happen there. You can take CPR classes and stuff like that there. But anyway, so she's in classes to get her GED. She is known as a very likable, pretty girl. Her family talked about her as she was a fantastic singer. She probably would have ended up on, like, American Idol if she had lived longer.
Oh.
She was good at making friends, and she began talking with a classmate named Sarah Kolb. And Sarah was attending the outreach center to get her GED as well. Sarah was popular, and she had the attention of many boys in class, but she was also known as like an angry, like the dark, angry, sexy, goth-like girl.
Okay.
And
A buttercup
always,
of
huh?
Powerpuff Girls.
She was?
I was like, the buttercup of the Powerpuff Girls.
Do you
Yeah.
know what that
Interesting that
reminds me of?
you.
Do you remember that YouTube video that was out a long time ago, but it was like, I'm the dark angel of the night, and this is my friend Raven. And they're listening to like Evanescence in their bedroom or some shit.
No.
What?
Oh,
What are you talking about?
No, I do not remember that.
Wait, what? No? What are you talking about? Like, or like a Vine?
It's just somebody who made a YouTube video?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
No, you'll have to look it up and send it to us. I have not seen that. Okay, so I'm gonna go, while Keely's looking that up, I'm gonna go back to it. So, always hanging around Sarah was a boy named Corey Gregory, also a classmate in the GED classes. Corey and Sarah dated briefly, but Sarah decided she liked Corey better as a friend, so she friend-zoned him. He, however, loved her. And he decided if he could stay loyal in the friend zone long enough, that Sarah would change her mind.
Maybe if
Never
you just
happens.
long enough, you'll slowly remember that you love me, but you don't.
You'll fall for me because I'm the loyal, nice guy. No,
Yeah.
it never happens, bro. Never.
That would never happen. Nice
Sarah.
The twisty, spirally mess.
Yeah, someone ends up with their heart broken.
Or worse.
Or in prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sarah and Corey, they first hung out behind Gordman's by South Park Mall, which Gordman's is not there anymore. They decided they just like hung out back there and they were smoking and they were inseparable ever after.
Yeah.
They both were self-proclaimed juggalo and juggalette. Huge fans of Insane Clown Posse. They wore the extra baggy pants and black band t-shirts and dark eyeliner, shit like that. Teen angst. Teen angst. Sarah, okay, so Sarah and Adrian become friends-ish. They pass notes back and forth on the regular, which I was talking about this story with Josh, and he's like, well, phones were just beginning to be a thing, and it was T9 texting, so notes were the way of talking to your friends.
Yeah.
And because he remembers all this happening, he and Adrian would have been in the same class graduating year. They wouldn't have been in the same school. But she was only 2 months older than Josh. So when all this went down, a lot of the people he went to school with were like, oh my God, I knew her. Like, we hung out. She was so nice. Yeah.
Wow.
So they're passing notes back and forth, and Sarah kind of starts a crush on Adrian because she was bi. And she starts asking Adrian, are you bi or are you straight lesbian? What's like the most you've ever done with a girl?
Yeah.
Corey is jealous, but like he just sits back and watches it because he's like, well, this is I love her, but she doesn't love me.
Yeah. I'll ride this.
So then everything's going fine until there's a weekend of house parties and everything changes. Adrian supposedly hooked up with a boy one night, and then I guess a second boy the next night. And so when they go back to school, Sarah's pissed. Huh?
Hussy.
Well, that's what Sarah thought.
I like you, so you can't be with anybody else sort of feelings.
Oh, she was pissed. Yeah, she starts calling Adrian a slut, talking about her like she's a whore. She should kill herself. Her demeanor toward Adrian completely flipped. She was calling her a whore, a slut, told people at school that she wanted Adrian to kill herself, even said that she wanted to kill Adrian herself to a few people on separate occasions. Ignored her. Adrian would try to call her. Sarah would either hang up on her or completely fucking lose her mind and scream at her.
Nice.
And so Adrian was just like, I just want to be your friend. Why are you ignoring me? Why aren't you talking to me? Why do you want me to die?
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian eventually told her stepmom that she was afraid of Sarah and felt threatened by her.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Corey's family even thought that Sarah was bad news. Like they weren't a fan of the way she looked, but it was more so that Corey was obsessed with her. And they didn't they thought it was unhealthy that their son was so infatuated with this girl.
Who, probably whenever she was over, like, you know, didn't show any sort of like reciprocation or kindness, because obviously she didn't.
Right. Well, and then Adrian's parents didn't think she was any good. Like her dad told the news, like after all things happened, that he thought immediately when he saw Sarah that she was a goth thug and a freak and didn't want Adrian hanging out with her. But anyway, so while this is all happening, Corey and Adrian start spending time together behind the scenes. They even kiss a few times, but I guess that was the extent of it. And Corey, eventually he tells Sarah. Her reaction was angry and violent, exactly as expected.
Right.
And a note written by Sarah in her journal on January 21st, 2005. So a couple months this after like Adrian had moved into the Quad Cities and was trying to get adjusted. A couple months later, Sarah writes in her journal, quote, "Stupid bitch needs to back up off my Kool-Aid. She's going to give him a note? Yeah, well, I'll effing kill her."
Mm-hmm.
And that was the start of the day that would rock the Quad Cities.
Rocking it.
Rock it. Shake it to its core. So I think we should have some cheese to get prepared for the rest.
Damn. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, we need some sweetness up in
Yes, we
here.
do.
We need some sweetness after this juggalo, gothy, bad influence vibes that I'm getting. People. First of all, I'm gonna say this right now. People like these bitches give juggalos and people of the dark nature a bad name, because some of those people are like super softy teddy bears. They look stone cold,
Fucking scary.
scary, but
Yeah.
they're all like, yeah, they're like, some of them are just like big old teddy bears, and I love them. And so, you know, man,
Don't tell them they look
Honestly,
like that though.
when I think of juggalos though, like I know this is so stereotypical, but have you seen that video? And people will always like overlay different music to it, but they're all like gathered under a fucking train
yeah,
overpass, and they're like,
Yes.
yeah.
yeah, those are my people.
Oh.
Obviously, I love. I definitely had a few. I dabbled, or I had a lot of friend groups like in high school, especially when I was young and impressionable. Um, Obviously, I never dipped into the Kool-Aid like clothing wise, but I had a lot of friends who were of the raving and
Like
goth, whatever you
EDM.
want to call it, fucking trip pants. Yes.
Yes.
That dude, you know what? Like, there's really that dude right in front, right there. The one with like the hair pulled back and the bracelets. He actually looks a lot like one of my ex-boyfriends. Not even kidding. It isn't him. However, I dated a guy who looked almost exactly like that guy.
That's funny. Did you ever get
And
into the like
like that. He had those moves. Yep, that's exactly how he would dance, and I'd be like, "Wow,
Get
so
it.
young." I was like,
that is so hot.
at the time, dude was a little older. I'll say that. However,
My elbows
hanging out.
hurt.
Let's do a rave. We get the glow sticks, and we're like in our like somebody's like basement, home basement, and we're like,
I did go to a rave one time, and it was at a 4-H center.
nice.
It was a real rave though. Like they had rented it out. They had music and bands and shit, and people were doing illegal substances, and I was just underage sneaking out to the car to get some booze.
Yeah,
I love that.
And then
Yeah.
I like passed out in a pile of pool floaties that they had blown up and thrown into a room.
I love that.
And that was it.
I love that.
Sounds about right. So anyway, so that's all sweet and dandy, and we're gonna get back into some sweetness because obviously I feel like Coda is revving us up to some heinous crimes. And thinking locally, I didn't want my cheese bite tonight is going to be more or less in the spirit of local because it's not Quad City local. It's not really here, where I'm at in Rockford or where you guys are at in the Quad City area. However, it is local, and it's sweet because tonight I am dialing it in, and we're gonna take a little U-turn and revisit some Kelly's Kitchen chocolate cheese fudge. That's what we're doing tonight. Hells to the yeah. So Kelly's Kitchen, that's local. That's me. Hey, look, this even looks like me. I could be her in like a good 15 years. That looks right.
There you go.
It's not.
Mhm.
This is a different brand of Kelly. But, this Kelly is all about it.
There you go.
And so tonight is the chocolate cheese fudge. So what the hell is cheese fudge? Well, I'll
It's
tell you.
good.
Don't know, and if you haven't had it, I'll give you one guess to where it's from. America, because no fucking European would ever mix fucking chocolate with cheese, literally in a sense. So cheese fudge is typically a cheddar cheese, and during the process of this confection hunk, like 'cause it's like fudge, but it has cheese in it. So it's a cheese, it's a fudge. Um, it's a whole lot of stuff. Usually it's with like some sort of cheddar cheese added with dry milk, flavored with unsalted butter, vanilla extract, cocoa butter, or not cocoa butter, but cocoa powder, yada, yada,
Mhm.
yada. Kelly's Kitchen. Ingredients of this good old time is Havarti cheese. So
Ooh.
not cheddar, but a little Havarti. Okay. Havarti, which is, of course, our pasteurized milk, salt,
Yep.
and enzymes, and other deliciousness. Also added to granulated sugar, butter, non-fat dry milk, and cocoa powder with cream, and a whole bunch of other little tiny ingredients. So I went ahead, of course, opened up that pack and gave a few slices. So it is very it's sticky like fudge. Yes, look at that. It's fudgy, a little shiny. Mine's not as shiny as Keely. She has a different brand of mine, but she does have the cheese fudge going on.
I didn't
And
get any because somebody didn't message me back while I was at the store.
ooh, we really knew.
Who did that?
So I got fruit snacks.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3. Well, okay, and so with don't choke and don't hurt yourself.
No, my jaw hurts. You ever get a sharp pain in your
Oh,
ow?
when you're eating something sweet? Yes, that's what
Yes.
You should see a dentist about that.
you did. You really see about that. Uh, so thinking about
Is there a dentist in the room?
no, there's some dental providers here.
We're not a dentist. Put your hand down.
Yeah, put your hand down. Like I wish sneak my hand and could fish it through your guys'
I mean,
teeth.
You came
And
with mine. Hold on. Go on. Other way. No.
oh,
Yep.
wait.
You need to be on this side. Yep.
No, wait, hold on.
I think
You gotta go all the way.
our cubes aren't matching up because I'm on the bottom cube.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's
gotta go
lining
all
up
the way
with
up
mine.
through the top of your screen. Okay, ready? Keely!
What?
Dang it!
I can't see you.
Our
Really?
cubes aren't matching up.
Yeah, Coda, you're still
Anyway,
frozen.
we're gonna be
I'm still
tasting.
frozen?
Yeah.
I'm not still frozen. I saw that message you sent me. That's fantastic, by the way. Love that.
Yeah.
That's what you look like this entire screen recording. I'll take a picture right now.
No, you're not frozen to me. I can see you moving.
Wrong. Anyway, continue.
Well,
Continue your cheese.
This is
I'm
what
sorry.
this is what we get in our digital age. So with our cheese cubes, while we're in our own cubes, cheese fudge. I'm thinking, okay, instead of pairing things with what goes well with cheese, because this is definitely more like a fudgy, more of the fudginess, definitely more on the fudge side. I was like, ooh, what pairs well with fudge? A multitude of things. And so
Peanuts.
tonight we are we are going to test them out. Reports say fresh fruit. So Keely coming in with some fudge and pineapple. Very nice.
Mm.
Red wine, bread, balsamic vinegar, a whole multitude of things. So we got a few different pairings. So Keely, how's that? How's that pineapple and cheese fudge? Hi,
Oh,
Coda.
hi. Welcome
There you go.
back.
Am I frozen now, Keely? Okay, good. Because I don't want to
There.
be this the whole fucking time. So how was your fudge?
It's
Yeah,
good.
how's the
I wouldn't
pineapple?
know.
You can't just say good.
Oh, okay.
It's not. You gotta describe it.
Okay. I got more of a like cheesy. Why can't I
Use
think
your
of
word.
the cheese from the Texas cheese?
The cheese from the Texas.
Okay.
Texture? What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of what the cheese was that we did for our Texas episode. But anyway, it reminds me of like squeaky cheese with the fresh pineapple. Like the
Okay.
consistency
Okay.
changes. But by itself,
Okay.
it's nice and squishy. It's good. It's num num.
Yeah.
It
Um,
tastes like chocolate, very
you're
chocolatey,
doing great.
very very milky, very
Yeah.
There's some nuts in mine.
Texture. Oh,
Milk
okay. See, that's
crunch,
new.
milk crunch.
Little crunch, a little okay. Didn't hear that, but okay. Gotcha. Cool. Excellent. All right. Okay, cool. Well, you got the fruit pairing, okay? I thought
Mhm.
I would go a little savory. So I was kind of feeling a little adventurous. Something like, okay, cheese and fudge. Yeah, of course you're gonna think like maybe like fresh fruits, some wine. Got it. But then you think like, okay, what are things that you usually have with like fudge and something like, oh, chocolate fudge. Okay, like
Mhm.
chocolate and peanut butter. Okay, yeah, chocolate peanut butter, that's a common pairing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What if we pair it with cheesy peanut butter crackers?
Okay.
Okay, get the saltiness of the cracker,
Yeah.
get the peanut butter goodness
Yeah.
with the
I love
fudge
this.
cheese. Okay, so we're gonna get us a little sweet, salty peanut butter action. Okay, we're gonna test it
Mhm.
out. Test it
Mhm.
out. Haven't This is first time going. Haven't done it yet.
Hope it sucks. No,
Okay.
I'm just jealous. Don't worry.
Okay. 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 So I like it. You definitely get a little bit of saltiness from the cracker. I don't really taste the cheese cracker portion. That's more of just like a crunch at this
Yeah.
point. However, I do taste the peanut butter, which with the fudge, the peanut butter fudge is really good. But like even just like the cheese fudge by its own is a little different too because you do get the chocolatey taste to it. However, it does have I definitely taste notes of the Havarti. So like a little sharpness,
Mm.
like a little like a white cheddar or Havarti, a little sharpness of like a white cheddar, a white cheese would be. However, with the cracker, it's like it's like a it's like a Reese's cup, like a crispy Reese's cup with yeah, it's like a Reese's cup cheese cracker.
There you go.
That's the best, but it's salty. But again, like it gets the smoothness because
Mhm.
the fudge is like really soft, and so it's like smoothness like peanut butter, but it's still like a I don't know. It's still good, really good. Okay, so we have that pairing. That was the first pairing. Okay, so I got another one. Try out another one. I thought about doing banana,
Mhm.
but I think that'll also be a little too easy for us. A little too easy. I'm sure it'd be great. So bananas, chocolate bananas, banana chocolate cracker peanut butter fudge. That sounds great. I
Mhm.
had a lot of ideas here. Okay, but again, I'm the sweet and savory lady, sweet and savory lady. So dog piling on the salty cheese peanut butter cracker idea. So what's next? So we got the salty factor. What else is salty? Boom, bacon. Bacon is also salty. So we're gonna do bacon with the fudge. Because there's chocolate covered bacon. If you ever been to like a sweet shop or anything like that, that's bomb. So we're gonna do this fudge cheese bacon. Because cheese and bacon, who doesn't love some bacon, egg, and cheese? Bacon, egg, cheese, bagel, bacon and cheese on your pizza. I don't know. The list goes on. Those are only 2 things that I listed, but it goes on after that. Okay. But we're doing the sweet and savory, so you got a good thick, and this is a thick cut. Look at this is thick cut.
Oh wow.
Thick bacon, you know, see that?
Thick boy.
That's slapping. It's a smoky applewood smoked bacon too. So amazing. Okay.
Yum.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a bite out of that.
The silence is
no?
so loud.
Okay, it's not a no. However,
but it's not a yes.
I taste it basically gives the cheese fudge a smoky flavor.
Okay.
Because the bacon's not okay. So this is not fresh bacon. I didn't bacon this up today. This is leftover bacon. I will admit I didn't go fresh on you guys. Sorry.
Wow.
But I do taste the smokiness of the smokehouse bacon with the chocolate, and it also kind of brings out. Maybe my brain's just having an aneurysm because I taste like a little bit of egginess to it, but also it might just be the cheese part of the fudge. So I taste it.
She's over here stroking out right now.
Yeah, I have it taste in my mouth, and I just ate a whole base. Yeah, very chewy, creamy, smoky confection over here. Interesting. And okay, last but not least, so we did the cheesy peanut butter cracker. Got the salty and the crunch. Gross. We got
quit that.
It's not 7:25. Okay, you're late, Austin.
Damn.
Well, yeah, I've been in a fucking meeting, so I got muted.
Oh snap!
Oh shit!
Got a 320 raise.
Look at her. You're like, how
And then
dare
next
you?
year,
Anyway,
is
so we did the cheesy peanut butter cracker. Got the salty crunch peanut butter goodness. Okay, check. We tried the bacon.
48.60.
Not as salty, a little chewy, but got the smokiness, which did add an extra flavor content. Now,
Is this how we do
another
it?
flavor blast. We're gonna do the. Oh, Austin's trying it.
Tell them what it tastes like.
And don't just say good.
Brownie?
What?
It's like a brownie?
It's cheese.
The fuck out of here.
It's cheese. You want
Is it tastes like brownie?
Yeah, I like brownie.
He said it tastes like a fucking brownie.
Yeah, it tastes like,
Yeah,
it almost
brownie
tastes
cheese.
like brownie ice cream brownie.
Yeah?
Alright. I'll
Yeah.
cut it out.
Okay.
Brownie ice cream?
Yeah, kind of.
Ooh, that sounds good.
See, Keely, you could have said that instead of good.
Oh, like a brownie blast blizzard kind of thing.
Well, with a piece of pineapple.
Mother and father are fighting again. No.
Yeah. You try what is that? What is that?
Oh, Austin just drilled through his finger today.
Why would you show me that? That's disgusting. Get out of here.
Kelly's gonna pass out.
The worst part was
we're recording right now.
I was stuck to the sheet metal with a screw in my finger, and then I couldn't get the drill back on the screw, and then I had to put the drill in reverse and unscrew it out of my finger.
Put in reverse, Terry.
But alright, I love you. I'm gonna play cards.
Say thanks for listening to Gouda.Murder.
Thank you for listening to Gouda.Murder and giving me some brownie cheese.
There you go. Alright, love you, bye. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
He sounds like such a little kid.
Sorry.
He sounds like a little kid. And thanks for giving me brownie cheese.
Thanks. Shut up, it's not cheese. There you go, that's what we need. All right, before we were so rudely interrupted by the big guy in the hat and the hole in his finger, I was going through the next flavor
Mhm.
and last pairing that I'll be doing it during this cheese break. Okay.
Yes.
So step one.
Yes.
Salty cheese and peanut butter cracker. Okay. I
Okay.
feel like that was a go. That was a given. That was
That
like,
was a good one.
the peanut butter. Okay. Yeah. Then we did the bacon. Bacon
Mm-hmm.
was a smoky accent. Wasn't as salty, but it was okay. It was
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Now we're gonna
Drum
do
roll.
something. I don't know if we've ever done this before, ladies, but we are going to pair the fudge cheese, the cheese that we have, with another cheese.
Oh,
Shit.
shit.
The other cheese that we're going to be pairing this with is the leftover cheese that we had.
The tequila lime one?
The tequila lime cheese. We're going to try it out. Because if you guys recall, tequila pairs with chocolate. And what is this but not chocolate cheese?
It also says not to pair it with dairy.
Yeah.
Yes. However, this is more chocolate than dairy. So here we go. So remember,
is it milk chocolate? Dairy?
It has dairy in it.
It has dairy in it.
But so does cheese. So I can't help you with this. So just a reminder. So the tequila lime cheese was a white cheddar or white cheese that we had infused with citrus lime and tequila flavors. Very mild, very okay. Was great with the cilantro lime chips that I have. Couldn't beat that. Now we're slapping it together for a chocolate and cheese fudge taste. Okay. And remember, like I said, fresh fruit pairs well with fresh fruit. We already tried the pineapple. We already tried the citrus.
Where'd Keely go?
And so we're gonna do this. I don't know. Where you? But now
I'm still
now
here.
we're gonna do this.
Oh,
hold on.
Okay. Is your recording still working?
Yeah.
Okay. How's the cheese with the cheese?
It's not bad.
I don't know if I believe you.
I mostly taste the squish.
Squish.
So it's really I don't get any of the.
You don't get the crunch?
I don't get any of the. No, there's no crunch, and there's no. I don't taste the citrus lime flavor with the cheese, like separately. Oh. We have somebody.
Someone at the door?
Yeah, hold on.
And that's how Kelly ended up on her own murder podcast.
Don't answer the door. If it were me, I'd be ducking under the window so they can't see me.
Her house, she's too high up. They could see her from the window. You're seeing them right there.
Who is it?
The police.
The dog's going nuts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get him, Addison. Get him.
You know she's mad. Oh, shit. Her man gets
God, who was that?
Her man.
Oh, is that your man?
Hi, her
Scared
man.
me. I thought someone just walked into your house. Is that who was at the door?
Oh no.
Jeez.
And that's Kelly on Gouda.Murder podcast. All right, we're gonna need a new cheese host if anyone's looking. Or
and that is how I died.
This is Gouda.Murder.
It's Gouda.Murder. That was Gouda.
Oh Lord.
Well, at least she died
happy.
eating things she liked.
Eating cheese. She died happy.
I don't know about the bacon one. She didn't look pleased with that, but she died content.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Cheese. Anyway, okay, now that I'm no longer muted, I feel it's safe. And I'm not being suffocated by a cellophane bag. This pairing back to the business. This cheese pairing is not that bad. It's not okay, so it's just mostly squishy. Okay.
The eye blink is getting me. Guys, it's really not that bad.
I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to focus on what I'm tasting.
All right.
Really, I mostly just taste the fudge. I taste the fudge cheese. Like I can feel the two different textures. So I think this was kind of a bust.
Damn.
The cheese on cheese was kind of a bust. The bacon was great. It was smoky. I would say it was good because of the smokiness. However, the winner of this pairing tonight was the cracker, the peanut butter salty cracker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Always a win.
Yeah, always a win. Win-win. So
Always a win.
this is something to think about on uncommon pairings. Always test the limits, kids. Always go for the gold and don't go for the obvious choice because sometimes you'll be surprised. Just saying. Or you won't be because I was surprised that cheese on cheese wasn't going to be that amazing. Bacon was good. The smokiness, that was okay. Yeah, right. But peanut butter cracker and cheese. Let me try it. Like I'll even try it with this. This is just leftover cheese. Look at that.
Gonna do that one. No. Mm-hmm.
Wow, look over there.
Yeah, I like it. This is more sharpness. There's a sharper taste to it. Oh, I actually like that. That's nice. I'll have another piece. I'll have another bite of that.
I'd have another.
Anyway,
I'd have another.
I'll even add it with more cheese. More cheese, less cracker.
Mm?
Delicious. Anyway, the story is don't limit yourself to your pairings because you never know what you're gonna like. You never know what you're gonna find out. And so, with that being said, and with our our fudge cheese, and it's local because it's only in the States. You won't find this overseas. And because who else would be stupid or crazy or genius enough to do chocolate and cheese together, as in literally together? I think that would just be a melting pot of Americas. So go us.
White people.
Go USA. That's local, right? I think so. Anyway, back to you, Coda.
Do it like a news anchor.
Appreciate hearing your commentary. I did not have
Yeah.
the fudge cheese, but I did have a garden cheese that was made in Iowa, so that's why I got it.
Iowa. Yeah, there you go.
Close enough. Anywho's.
Speaking of newscasters, so one more thing. Speaking of newscasters, I think I'd be great at reporting the weather. I wouldn't be or I'd be the on-site person. I'd be out in the eye, and people would be like, fuck her in the pussy, and I'd be like, yeah, that's right. Anyway, back to you kids at Channel 28 News. That sounds like my speed.
It sounds like you'd have a job for a day.
Yeah.
I think I'd be able to be quick-witted enough with that. I don't know. Let's test it out.
I'm also picturing the people who get like smacked with a stop sign in the middle of a store.
No, yes.
Yeah, that'd be.
You would say, like, someone would say that, you'd be like, yeah, let's rock, smack.
The winds are insane out here.
Really. And Kelly was fired that day. We know you're in the hospital, but we have to let you go.
Yeah. Fine,
okay.
Fine. I think more people like out in the action should get more things happen to them and just go with it. Not get fired, but like how entertaining that'd be. Amazing.
Absolutely.
I don't care. Absolutely, I would. Okay. Anyway,
I would watch the news way more.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like if you had a crazy off-kiltered news reporter out in the action, like that'd make you want to dial into the news rather than what people do now. I don't know what they do.
What are you guys watching tonight? Oh, I'm watching Channel 6.
Yeah.
It's the new
That's
series.
swirly girls out at the zoo.
All right, let's get back to it.
Okay.
Let's go back to January 21st, 2005.
Yes.
Where Sarah is completely unhinged.
Yeah, bitch passing notes against her.
Yeah,
behind her back.
Back up off my Kool-Aid, bitch. So
Bitch.
Sarah goes to school that day. Totally different person. Now she's talking to Adrian like she's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, let's go to lunch and we can squash this beef over some Taco Bell. So Sarah, Corey, Adrian, and another friend from school, Sean McKittrick, all get in Sarah's car, and they leave school around noon to go get Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah pulls into the parking lot and she parks in the back, like right along, like close to the alleyway back there. And her and Adrian start arguing. The altercation escalates quickly, and Sarah starts hitting Adrian and pulling her hair. Well, Sean is not having it and tries to tell her to stop. He attempts to intervene, and Sarah tells him, if you don't like it, you can get out of my car. So he does. And he takes off walking. He's like, I'm done, I'm out.
Mhm.
But anyway, the struggle didn't stop. Sarah and Adrian keep going at it. Well, it ends in disaster. Sarah ends up strangling Adrian until she blacks out.
Shit.
All the while, Corey is just sitting there having a smoke and watching.
Watching it.
He's just watching it happen.
He's having a
So
smoke
anyway,
while she's taking a drag, and my stomach is sick. Sorry. Okay.
So Adrian is unconscious, and Sarah and Corey just sit there and smoke cigarettes, waiting for her to wake up. But she
my god.
never did. Corey claimed he was so in love with Sarah that he just had to help her get rid of Adrian's body. So they drove to Sarah's grandparents' farm in Mercer County, and they were
With her in the back.
with her in the car, because they start freaking out. Oh my God, she's dead. You killed her. And Sarah's like, she's not dead. She's not dead. And then Sarah's like, well, you have to help me get rid of the body. And Corey's like, okay, I'll help you. Well, first he was like, shouldn't we call somebody? And she said, no, you have to help me get rid of it. Anyway, they drive out to her grandparents' farm, and they wrap her in a tarp, and they were going to bury her, but the ground was frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay,
This is
plan B.
January, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
January.
Oh, January.
Yeah, and it's cold as shit up here in January. So
Yeah.
burying Adrian was not an option. Their next plan was to burn the body. So Sarah and Corey doused Adrian in gasoline and set her aflame with a butane torch. But to their dismay, it didn't work as a cremation oven would. Duh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of smolders after. Yeah.
Right. It's going to cause some damage to her skin, but it's not going to get rid of her. And so plan C was, well, we got to get her off this property. Let's cut her up. And Corey's like, I can't do that. Can't do that. So Sarah and Corey recruited Nathan Gaudet, I believe is how I don't know. It's spelled Gaudet. He was another classmate at the outreach center.
Mm-hmm.
He was more than happy to help.
What the fuck?
He was known for loving war and death, and he killed animals for fun. Yeah, sure, I'll help you. So Nathan brought a saw and got right to work. Corey told, like in all the interviews after this, he's like, it was worse than watching a horror movie. It was the most disturbing thing he'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He got right in there. He removed Adrian's arms and her head,
Mm-hmm.
and divided her torso into two.
Mm-hmm.
But her legs had already been burnt off by Sarah and Corey, so those didn't need to be removed. The trio bagged up the body parts, and they headed to Black Hawk State Park to stash the bags. But first, they stopped for lunch at McDonald's.
I mean, you get hungry cutting up somebody.
I mean, in interviews afterwards, they're like, how did you manage to eat after seeing that? And he says, we were stoned. We were smoking the entire day. And they're like, well, what'd you order? He's like, a McDouble. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Wow.
Anyway, so Adrian was supposed to work a 5 p.m. shift at Checkers the day she went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents were concerned when she didn't come home from school to change into her uniform. And they said although she
Right.
was a bit of a wild child, she always came home. Like, they said she wasn't an angel, but she never didn't come.
Yeah, she wasn't that much of a
Right.
problem kid.
She wasn't, like,
I mean,
gone for days at a time kinda kid.
there's
So, Tony and Joanne, her parents, drove to Checkers to see if Adrian was there. She had never showed up for her shift, and she didn't even come to pick up her paycheck.
Mhm.
So, Tony and Joanne reported her missing at 8 PM that night. Police believe she was a runaway. But Tony, her dad, didn't believe it because why would a kid take off without packing a bag or even picking up her paycheck?
Right.
Like, you're not gonna just take off without money
Right.
at the very least.
right.
So something wasn't right. Police questioned Sarah, and she had a story ready to go. She's like, "Oh yeah, I gave her a ride today, but I dropped her off at the McDonald's near her house because her dad doesn't want her in cars with boys." And Tony, her dad, called bullshit. He told police,
He's
he's
like,
like, "Adrian knows that I'm never home around noon, so it makes no sense that she would be worried about me catching her in a car with boys at that time of day."
Right.
right. There wasn't no ring cam back then. There wasn't,
Mhm.
No,
stuff like that.
like, he would have never known who was
Right.
dropping her off at home, so why wouldn't you if you did bring her home, why didn't you actually drive her home
Right.
instead of dropping
Right.
her off, like, a block or
Us.
whatever away? So anyway, Corey told his parents that they should probably hire a lawyer. His mom told him that if he didn't know what happened to Adrian, he didn't need to worry about it. And Corey's father didn't let it go. He could tell that something was not okay with him, so he
Right.
questioned his son. He asked, "Did something happen in the car? Did Adrian get hurt? Is she okay? Is she dead?" And Corey could only sob and nod his head yes to all of his father's questions. So the family immediately called the police and turned him and Sarah in,
Mhm.
and then Corey led the police to Adrian's remains where they had stashed him in a storm drain. And then they closed the storm drain up and buried it with dirt.
Wow.
And apparently, so a lot of people thought that like everything was found in Black Hawk State Park, but like some of the remains were left on the farm.
Yep.
So Corey told detectives, like pretty much, they blamed each other. Sarah said that Corey was jealous and that Adrian didn't belong in their friend group and he strangled her. He told the police that Sarah was pissed and strangled her. But after that, their stories matched up. But he told detectives that Sarah and Adrian were trying to choke each other. That they grabbed each other's necks and were struggling, trying to choke each other at the same time. But then he did an interview later on with Dateline and told the interviewer that Adrian actually hit Sarah first and made her nose bleed. So Sarah grabbed a wooden stick that she kept for protection and
Okay.
hit Adrian.
Hmm.
And then the fight escalated and moved to the back seat of the car. Sarah got on top of Adrian, choked her out. And then when she went unconscious, Sarah got off of her. And that's when her and Corey started smoking cigarettes, waiting for Adrian to wake up. And so they're like, well, this is taking forever. Why isn't she waking up? And then they look in the back and she's blue because she's not breathing. So yeah, that was some crazy shit. So what I forgot to write down was the boy who cut Adrian's body up.
Mhm.
They didn't name him when this happened because he was considered a minor.
Yep.
All of them were actually minors. But because he didn't actually partake in the murder, his name was left out.
Yeah, he just started the dismember.
He only got 5 years for cutting her up.
So he's
I want to
out
say
now? Like he's been out?
Sarah got, what'd you say?
Yeah,
He's out?
he's been out.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
out.
been out since the time we graduated.
Yeah, he got out when he was 21. Heck yeah, I need to look up to see if he's killed anybody, like, I don't know, but anyway,
Ooh.
Kolb was sentenced to 40 or over 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, last year, March of 2023, she requested a resentencing, and her attorney tried to say that her original sentence was cruel and unusual punishment.
That's what
Because
she thought.
I guess sentencing no, she was sentenced to 53 years, and if you're sentenced to more than 40 years as a juvenile, it's considered a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Why is
So,
that?
huh?
Why do they consider that?
I'm guessing because I don't know, probably because you never have a chance to go from childhood to adulthood in the real world,
Yep.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
But it didn't change. They were like, nah, we're
Nah.
not lessening your sentence. But so anyway, what I thought was funny is if you look these two up now, Sarah Kolb, as far as I know, she still goes by Sarah Kolb,
Mm-hmm.
but she has facial hair now. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if she's transitioning or what her deal is. But Corey Gregory is no longer Corey Gregory. She is now Harley Quinn. She transitioned while she was in prison. He transitioned to Harley Quinn while they were in prison.
Out of all names.
I
Yeah.
know. Yep.
Okay.
I thought it was, I'm like, they even mentioned in one of, like, I was watching a new thing, and they were talking about, well, they were trying to say, could their mental development have changed from being 16 years old to now? And I'm thinking, I don't think so. I
Right.
think you're still
Well,
a
you think
little
about
fucked up.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that I guess now that you say that, like when you think about like their mental stability or lack thereof, but when you get put away like at that age, you're still developing.
Yeah.
Like how to socialize or act around other people or like
And
what's like appropriate or not. And I mean, not that to say that I don't know, they obviously knew right from wrong and I think just didn't care. However, like to be imprisoned for that long and that soon in your lifetime to think like what their cognitive like span would be now because they've been locked up and they've been locked up since they were however old. I don't think I think that's an interesting thing to think about for them or just like anybody of that age bracket in general to understand that their mental capacity, like say if they were gonna be let out and they're like in their 30s or in their 40s now, they're not gonna act or have, I don't think, like the mental state of a normal societal adult because they've been
and I think
locked
that's
up for
part of why they were trying to like call it cruel and unusual punishment.
okay. I mean,
Mm.
And they're trying
cruel
to
and
and then her dad, Adrian's dad, was like, you want to say it's a life sentence to be put away for 40 years, but the difference is in 40 years you get out and live a life.
Yep.
And my daughter
Right.
doesn't even have that opportunity.
Yep.
right, exactly.
So, but I highly doubt they're going to get out anytime soon. I really truly doubt it. And then I did watch a video of Harley Quinn giving a speech to Adrian's parents in court saying how sorry she was and she didn't deserve to be forgiven. How could you forgive me? But I live with it every single day and I'm sorry for what we did and I wish I could take it back. And she has like no emotion.
Mm. Oh yeah, she practiced a
None.
couple times. Oops,
Probably.
I'm
It is
so
Or
worth
sorry.
mm-hmm.
like I definitely believe I have to believe that there are people who are imprisoned do regret what they did, and realize it was wrong. Do I think that excuses them and they deserve any sort of forgiveness? No. But I also highly believe that there are people like this Harley Quinn person or whatever who say it just to say it.
Mhm.
Right.
Try
And
to
do you regret it because you knew it was wrong, or do you regret it because, oh fuck, my life has been spent in prison now? I wish I
Yeah.
hadn't fucked up or got caught because I've been stuck in here all this time.
I would have got away with it too
Right.
if it weren't for
Me
So-
being such a sissy lola. No, I'm just
those
kidding.
meddling kids.
Yeah.
I bet that Sarah was like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You ratted me out. You're never getting out of the friend zone now.
You would have gotten caught. You would have gotten caught because you're stupid. The dude that left would have probably eventually gotten questioned. I'm like, what was their state when you left them? Oh, they were fighting. It's like,
Oh, he did.
it
They
was
did
just-
question him, and he
Mhm.
said
that wasn't it.
he's like, I would, if I had known what was gonna happen to Adrienne, I wish I would have taken her with me. Like, I wish I would have pulled her out of the car and gotten her away from that fight.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn.
crazy stuff, man.
Mhm.
Crazy.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
So if you like that episode, or you have any similar type stories for us to look into, please email us at Gouda.Murder@gmail.com. And follow us on Facebook, Gouda.Murder Podcast Official.
Mhm.
We also
YouTube as well.
have Instagram. What'd you say?
YouTube as well. Same name.
Oh, yeah, Gouda.Murder Podcast on YouTube.
Mhm.
And we have Gouda.Murder Pod on Instagram, where you can see all our delicious charcuterie boards.
Ooh.
Shikuti.
Charcuterie boards. Any
Hell
hoozle.
yeah.
Well, stay fresh, cheese bags. We love you. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Peace.